Okay, in this video, we are going to use the auto replenishment to replenish stores back to their max level. So day to day, we're going to have sell-through rates. We're going to see the items that need replenishing on our inventory warnings report. We're going to create stock transfers for them, and then we'll pick them and dispatch them to the stores, and then the stores will receive them in. So let's start with looking at the item. So here we're looking in items. These are a pair of blue night trainers. Okay, if we have a look at our inventory, here we've got the inventory visible for this item across all the warehouses and stores, and even in manufacturing if that's important. And we can look down at our Hereford store and we can have a look at what's on the hand in Hereford, in London, and also Manchester. Here are the minimum and maximum inventory levels, and they can be different for every store. And if we set them so that it's the same, basically that's just going to replenish based on sell-through rates. When inventory falls below those minimum levels, which it has here across all three stores, the items are going to appear here in our inventory warnings table. Now I could just choose a store that I wanted to focus on. Or I can do all the stores at once. In this case, we're going to do all the stores at once. And the reason this works is because in the back here, we've got logic that tells us what we want to do when inventory falls below the minimum level and the item appears. Now, if you've got multiple stores and you may not have enough inventory to fill all the stores, you could fill in order, and that looks like this. So you could, I want to fill my London store first, then my Hereford, then my Sheffield until I run out. This one is weighted distribution. So, I might send, 50% of my inventory to Hereford, and then 20 and 20, and so forth, obviously to 100%. But what it means is day to day, all I'm going to do is come here and have a look at the items that need replenishing, and I could select all of those, and now we've now created the stock transfers. I'm going to apply those. Great. So now we've created 3 stock transfers. And you can see they're going from the central warehouse to the Manchester store, central warehouse to the London store, and central warehouse to the Hereford store. And of course, now we've run those, they disappear. Now, we're going to find those here in stock transfers. And you can see we've got 3 created here, 1 to Hereford, 1 to London, 1 to Manchester. When we run the rules in the inventory warnings, if we've got open stock transfers between the central warehouse and Hereford store, for example, that will add to an open transfer. It's only when we come into a transfer and we submit it that it's going to create a new stock transfer when we run the rules. So here in the stock transfer, for example, I can add other items. I can adjust this one, to whatever I want it to be. I could type it in. And when we're ready, we're going to approve this. So we've approved it. I'm going to just run through each of these, make sure that I'm happy, and now it's gone to submitted. So if we ran the rules again, it would create a new transfer between Hereford and the central warehouse and Hereford. While this is open, it's just going to add to an open transfer. Although we do have rules to say that if you wanted to create a new one every time you run the rules, you could do that. There are some variations. You can also have open ones and create new ones if you want. So they're flexible. The rules are very flexible. We'll jump in here. Again, I can add and remove items. I'm going to submit this because I'm happy with it. And we'll do the last one. I'm going to submit this one. Great. So now you'll see these are submitted. They have not been dispatched. They've not been received. Okay. So I could jump into one of these and go straight through to the goods out note. That's what the team have to pick and pack and distribute to the store. I can also come down here to goods out notes. So now we've got 3 open ones. I could just pick select those, and now we can print those. And again, you can have custom forms, which we can set up. So you can show whatever you'd like, but it's going to show the items, the quantity to pick, etc. So you can print those off in bulk and hand out to the team. Or we can use handheld scanners. And at this point, it's pushed straight through to the handhelds. So you can either use the existing paper process that you've got, or you might prefer to switch to using the handhelds. Okay, so now we are in the stock warehouse app. So this would be on handhelds for your warehouse team. We've created the stock transfers. Now, again, you could be picking them on paper, or they could go through to the handhelds. And as the team, I'm just going to open these up. I can see that these need picking. So we could just open up, I don't know, this one. Or let's choose, there we go. Let's choose this one. So it'll show you if it's got a location attached to the bin. It would show you where to go and pick them. Shows you the number of units that you need to pick. And I would walk around, I'd come up to this bin, and then I would start. It's going to tell you if you've picked the wrong item. It's going to tell you when you pick the right item. Now I can also, if I want, add it like that, or we could just type in 9 if you want. And in this case, let's just type in 8 there. That is now packed. I've picked and packed all the items for the stock transfer. I'm just going to dispatch those. Now I could print a label with the store name on it. I could print, if you've got the printed sheet, you can leave it on. But I'm going to dispatch that. And that is now dispatched. Okay. So if we now come back to look at stock transfers, you can see the status of this transfer is submitted. It's now dispatched, but it's not received. So it's in transit at the moment, and the inventory will be shown as in transit. It's no longer in your central warehouse, but the inventory is not in the Manchester store. So it's accurate in that it's currently in transit. Now, your team in the shop could have a handheld and receive the items in. You can also do this through the back office. If we do this through the back office, I'm just going to do a goods receipt. So we say that we're in the Manchester store, and this is all permission controlled, of course. I'm receiving a stock transfer. That's the stock transfer. And here are the items. Now again, I'm just going to start scanning those in. Or again, I could just type it in. I can hit receive all items, but you may not want that facilitated because you want an audit trail. So again, I'm just going to complete this now. We'll complete the goods receipt. Okay, and now if we come back to the transfers, you can see here the transfer is completed. The goods have been dispatched and received, and if we jump in here, you can see here, this is the dispatch note. That's what we dispatched, and you can see who dispatched it. So it was Ian on this date, and then this was the goods receipt. And again, you can see who received it, user date and timestamped, and exactly what was received. So we're starting to introduce an audit trail, a reliable audit trail for your business. And if we jump in to have a look at the items now, you see the Manchester store has now been fully stocked again. So, you know, it's back up to 95. And again, at the end of the day, you can run this report, you can run it in the morning to pick, and now we will automate your store replenishment. So that's the process, a full audit trail. It's going to work like that, move in stock from, you know, the Melbourne warehouse to the Sydney warehouse to the Sydney stores. And we're going to automate this process, remove all the manual work, and even help you go digital with the handhelds.